Hey you guys, I have a message that I want to share with you today. I was at a store and I was speaking to a young lady there. Her and I, we usually shop there, and I was telling her, everybody's kind of going through something right now, including me. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that you were going through it." And I said to her, I looked at her dead in her eyes, and I said, "Why are you sorry?" And she said, because nobody wants to go through hardship or anything like that. You just want life to go smoothly. And I looked at her and I said, why would you want that when there's so many blessings within the lesson? I'm not sorry. In the beginning, I was like, man, God, why do I have to go through this? What am I doing to deserve this? But I learned to cope with the storm. I learned to maneuver through the storm, and I've learned to alchemize things. I've learned to transmute energy. Everything that somebody has thrown at me, I've learned to transmute it and turn it into something beautiful. I wouldn't have been able to do that without these lessons. 111, as I say that. I wouldn't have been able to do that without these lessons. You got to be careful. Because a lot of people, they just see the bad things in life. They see the bad things. They see this. They see that. There's a blessing in the lesson. Okay? There's a lot of blessings in the lesson. Don't ever think that nothing is going to come from what you're going through. You just got to see it. You got to recognize it. You got to know that it's from the ancestors. And you got to ask the ancestors, what am I supposed to do with this information? Please tell me, what am I supposed to do with this information? Guide me to what I'm supposed to do with this information. And then, here's the tricky part. This is where a lot of people fail. And then, getting excited, y'all. Then you got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to wait for it to be delivered to you. Okay. There was something that I had wanted the other day. I'm not gonna explain the entire situation, but there was something that I wanted specifically. And the person who had the item was a family member of mine, and they had 6 of them. So I was like, okay, well, maybe they might share. 6 is a little excessive for them, but maybe they might share, and maybe they might give me one, and I'll just pay it for them. They told me no. And you know what God did? 3 days later, God made that specific thing that I wanted to appear to me in the physical form for almost half the cost that they paid for it. Look, I got words. Tingle, tingle, tingle. Look, tingle, tingle, tingle. Look, I got words. Tingle, tingle, tingle. I don't know why I just made that up. But listen, manifest it. Put it out into the universe. Then become aligned with that manifestation. Trust me, it's yours. Nobody can stop anything that God has already placed in your path. Okay? You just got to call it in. You got to call it in. You got to manifest it. And then once you manifest it, you got to be patient. You got to show the universe that you have mastered patience. Okay? You have to show the universe that you've aced that test. Okay? Speaking of ace, somebody did ace some type of test. I keep seeing 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Normally you just see the number 100. No, it's been the percent sign behind it. Somebody has aced some type of test that you have struggled with for many, many years. You did it, babe. You did it. Congratulations. You did something that not many people see. They don't make it to the end. Something happens to them and they're not able to see the fruits of their labor. Congratulations. But anytime somebody tells you next time somebody say, oh, I'm sorry that you're going through that, ask them why. Why are you sorry? There's nothing to be sorry about. People take something negative like a situation or hardship or something like that, and they just toss it off as if it's something bad, but they don't see the beauty in the process. That's why God tells you all the time to trust the process, okay? Things that when I tell you, I've never been the type of person to allow people to talk to me any kind of way. People have been talking to me crazy since this whole transformation started. And guess what? Karma will be knocking if she hadn't already entered. Okay? Just trust the process. You are, I believe I said this before, but you are the atomic bomb. You are what's going to make the difference. So people being rude to you, honey, that's a part of the setup. That's a part of the setup. Let God work, okay? Take what resonates, leave what does not with this message. And I will definitely see you guys on the next message. Have an amazing day. Bye.